This is my 2018 Goldwing DCT tour, and I followed some videos online to help me take the fairing apart, to expose the air filter. And on this model here, with a little over 16,000 miles, it's due for spark plugs and air filter. The videos that I found online get you to this point. So tonight I'm going to attempt to expose the air filter and document that so I can share this with other Goldwing owners. Removing the side and top fairings gives you quite the collection of screws. Along with those screws, you get a lot of Tupperware as well. I hope I can find out where all these screws go back. That should be interesting. I believe the air filter is down here. So to get to there, I'm going to remove the glove box and whatever else is attached to the glove box or under the glove box. If you've gotten to this part, like me, you're probably thinking, boy, I should have just had the dealership do this. But I'm in for a penny, I'm in for a pound now. Let's take a look what we got over here. So, gosh, I hope that's the air box there. We'll see in a moment. Lots of stuff had to be disconnected in here. Eureka! It was the air box. And I read a lot of things online that said, change the air filter at 16,000 miles? That's a waste of money. Well, I live in Florida here, and it's not exactly the dirtiest of climates, but it definitely needs to be cleaned, or replaced, I should say. I wonder where the rest of the bird is. Well, this may be the first video online that you didn't have to pay for to see what it looks like inside a 2018 airbox. This is mine. Looks pretty clean. God help me with putting this thing back together. Holy cow. Do I really need to mention what's what here? 16,000 miles. Well, I have the new air filter installed, and I gotta tell you that in order to get that air box out, you had to disconnect some things off the side of it. Let me see if I can find it here. The snorkel had to be removed. It's held in by one fastener, and once the snorkel was removed from this part right here, this box cover was able to come off after, of course, loosening the half dozen screws that hold it in place. Fortunately, those are captured screws, so they don't come out. There's no chance of losing them or not using the correct ones to put it back together. So I'm going to document as much as I can the reassembly of this bike. In order to fit the air box in, the air duct has to be removed. There's a rivet that's held in place at the end of the snorkel, and I found the best way to reinstall the rivet was by removing this rubber strap and moving the, whatever that's called, circuit board out of the way. That way you could see when you have the rivet lined up with the hole that's behind this circuit board. Once you have the rivet installed, reinstall the rubber strap to the circuit board and then move on. It's now time to reinstall the glove box, and you can see this is pretty extensive. these brackets here go up under the steering head. In order to pull it out, you have to remove some cable bundles that are held in place with various fasteners. I'll try to outline those as much as I can. Once you finagle the glove box back into the chassis, you then need to work on reinstalling the cables onto the subframe of the glove box. And there's connectors on both sides. I've moved the handlebars to the right to expose these. The last thing you want to do is put this thing back together wrong and have to tear it all down again, because you end up with 3 extra screws at the end. So I'm trying to do my best to be careful not to do that. Now right here, you'll notice there's some clips. They're really hard to see right there. They get attached to that sub-assembly on the glove box. And there's quick fasteners on both sides of the bike. Here's the right side. And there they are, right there, the blue and gray. Those have to be put back in as well. And then we got to do some screwing around here in a little bit, but first I'm making sure that all my wires and my hoses are all put back in the right place, and I'm not quite done that yet. Good news, good news, good news. 0 extra parts. Glove box back together. Thanks, Jeff. So, friends out there in YouTube land, just make sure you take it apart and put it back together in the same day, because you may not remember where all the screws go. So, hopefully the bike moves forward when I put it in drive and not backwards.